The Sportscast, October 21st, 2020. If you haven't yet, please subscribe in all our channels, Periscope, iTunes, and YouTube. But if you're in iTunes, please leave a rating and a review. It will help us out tremendously. We are now on DAB Online Digital Radio. You can listen to us in a radio format 24/7. You could go on to the Sportscast website or go on to our new app, the Sportscast, only for iPhone for now. And you can download that on the Apple App Store. And, of course, visit us on the sportscast.net for the latest news and articles, which you can also find on the app as well. Follow us on Twitter at the Sportscast1 for the latest and greatest. We've been having breaking news this past couple of months on Twitter. Ryan Fitzpatrick, of course, telling how sad he is that he got the nod to go to the bench. So breaking stories like that. And, of course, you can see that all at thesportscast.net. This episode is brought to you by the Sportscast app. You can download the app on the Apple App Store. The Champions League Group Stage Round 1 has been completed. A few surprises, actually one big surprise maybe, and a few obvious ones, some close games. And, of course, today we have Fernando Ulloa wearing a Real Madrid hat in honor of their loss. Welcome back to the Sportscast.
Hey, Santiago, how are you? It's a pleasure to be back here. And you got to represent, man. Win or lose, you got to be strong and keep supporting, you know?
Speaking about that game, it's funny because I was just reviewing the scores before the show, and I thought Real Madrid equalized. Apparently, they didn't. Maybe it was a VAR that told them no, but what happened?
No, actually, the VAR worked pretty well this time, and the referees make the right determination. It wasn't an offside, apparently, and that's what the VAR is for. There was a goal, but it was afterwards disallowed at the 93rd minute. Federico Valverde, and it got disallowed. So, yeah, it is what it is. It was a tough match for sure. Nobody expected the result, but Real Madrid has got to pick up back again. Raise their head and try to win games because they have the players. They have the players. They have the talent. It's something else for me right now.
It's funny because we share a WhatsApp group message group, and I was kind of indicating to everyone, watch out for this game, Real Madrid versus Shakhtar. I had a feeling this game was going to be difficult for Real Madrid, and it was an upset. And this was like the upset I was looking at for a couple of days, and I was correct. Fernando, were you having that same feeling, like maybe Shakhtar wasn't going to be that easy?
Actually, to be honest, no. I mean, I was expecting Real to come over as, the king of the champions, make a statement. They had a tough time starting the Champions League last year, which they drawed against Club Brugge in the first game, 2-2. And I thought they're not going to make that same mistake this one. They're going to go all in. And it was very surprising to see the result. Number two, there were several players from the Shakhtar, starting team that were out due to COVID. So then you would think Shakhtar would have been even weaker. But after all, then you see Real Madrid's lineup. One of the first things I thought was that actually how many games have this starting lineup played together? And my thought was probably none. I mean, there were several changes, a lot of players that have not been playing regularly. And I don't know if it was because Zinedine thought this should be not such a hard game, and despite of that, the players do have the talent. That's what I'm saying. It was something else. It was mental. It was a lack of maybe determination to go over and get that game, and of course you can't put aside that they're playing against 11 other players, which today did their job pretty well.
You think age is playing a factor for Madrid now? Do you think a lot of these players, man, have been playing for a while, for the very past couple of years? Do you think maybe it's time to rebuild?
I think they have a lot of youth, actually. They do have some seasoned players. One of them scored a great goal today, Luka Modric. He's 35, 36, I believe. I'm not sure, and he scored a great goal. He's always giving great passes. Uh, Sometimes he's like lost a little bit, but that's for any other reason. That being said, I do believe Real Madrid has young talent as well as some seasoned talent. I don't think they should start worrying right now, but they do have to start building and giving minutes to that youth that will be the future.
Something to definitely look at. Of course, we'll talk a little bit more about that matchup between Madrid and Shakhtar, which we already kind of talked about already. Okay, let's start with the Group A. Salzburg tying Lokomotiv Moscow 2-2. It was players that I don't know of, but I guess it was between the Austrians and Moscow. Though I do believe that Red Bull Salzburg wanted to win this game badly.
Yeah, no. As they proved last year, that they had a different element up there in their forward zone, but they have been playing well, and they're very good competitors on this championship. The Champions League. They had 15 shots on goal. That's a lot. 7 of them were on target. So they're up there trying to score games. Their pass accuracy was not that bad. They were very constant. Not that many fouls. Not that many cards. And it was fun looking at the stats after the game. I believe they made like 452 passes. So they have a pretty good game, and they're definitely a strong team. I mean, maybe not as strong as others, of course, but what I keep about this game, what I like the most is that both of these teams, they're maybe not superstar teams as we know them, but they gave their all, and I mean it was a fun game. 4 goals in one match, that's pretty good.
I believe it's a first time appearance for Lokomotiv Moscow, isn't it?
The what?
Isn't it like the first? Isn't it like the first Champions League for Lokomotiv, right?
Lokomotiv Moscow? I would have to get back on you on that.
I will definitely let you know as well, but I don't know. It's a possibility. Let's go to Bayern Munich, killing Atletico Madrid, 4-0. Man of the match was Kingsley Coman. He scored 2 goals. Yep. Leon Goretzka scored as well. Corentin Tolisso, no goals from Atletico, but it feels like Bayern is back where they left off.
Yep, totally, 100%. I still believe they are the favorite this year. After the performances we've been seeing, it's not just in the last Champions League, the last league they won, but also this league they're starting strong. I believe they lost one game, which was that weird game that happens. But then again, today they proved it. They were very, very how can I say this? They were very, very strong, and I mean you can just see the possession was 59%. They had a very high pass accuracy, 16 shots, 5 of them on target, but they got 4 goals, and they only let Atletico Madrid make 1 shot on target. So that gives you a lot about their defensive skills as well as their attacking skills.
And with Atletico, let's give them a little bit of showing here. They have Luis Suarez and Joao Felix up top. How have you seen Luis Suarez meshing with the Atletico Madrid team?
I think it's a very interesting situation because if you look at him, you can see he's totally out of shape. Like he's going like the Hazard way, he's totally out of shape. But despite that, he's always in the right position. You can tell he's a striker. He's a number 9. He's gonna be there, and if he gets the ball, he's a danger. He's scored several goals for Atletico on the league. Couldn't score today, but if he gets back in shape, he's going to be, as usual, one of the lethal strikers.
Joao Felix, tell me, with him, I know he's been with Atletico for about a year, but how's been his performance with Atletico so far?
I actually, at first, when he just went to Atletico, I was criticizing, the value Atletico paid for such a young guy that has not been proven yet. But starting this year, this league, you can see what Joao Felix is becoming now, and that he is performing way much better. he looks more confident of himself, and when he gets the ball, he's trouble. So Joao Felix is rising, and that's great to see in a player, and that's great for football as well.
Should Atletico be worried about their situation after today, or you think they'll be fine when they face Moscow and Salzburg?
They should be fine, but
You would
again,
think.
yeah, you can't. I'm afraid to put on a bet any day now, because you just never know.
Yeah, it's quite interesting where they're at with Atletico, but hopefully, you're a Madrid fan, so I mean, you probably don't want them to succeed. But hey, that's a whole other cup of coffee. Let's go to the game of the match. Well, game of the day, but not for you, Fernando. Real Madrid losing 2-3 to Shakhtar Donetsk, which they are from Ukraine, correct?
Shakhtar.
Yeah, Shakhtar is from Ukraine. Can you hear me? Yeah. So we got two goals from Madrid. A goal from Luka Modric, and of course from Junior, and then goals from Shakhtar was Victor Kornilenko, Menor Solomon, and
An own goal.
an own goal by Varane, the Frenchman.
Yeah.
We spoke about this before. Obviously Real Madrid is historically a Champions League contender, but should we be afraid after this result, or you think Madrid should be fine? The
I
rest of the
think
group.
Madrid needs to get their head back in the game, and as of right now, we should be afraid because uh, Real Madrid just had a poor performance on the weekend on the league, and now they're bringing this performance today. Despite the fact that it's supposed to be a weak opponent, what worries the most is that if you look line by line, the talent that Real Madrid has, they should have won this game. Period. There's enough talent. You have great defense, with the exception of Militao. Maybe I've never liked Militao. I think that's a weak link right there. But then you got Modric, Valverde, Casemiro, Asensio, Rodrigo, and then the other weak link would be Jovic. I'm a big fan of Jovic, but we've barely seen him. I know he hasn't had that many minutes, but now it's time for him to start, showing that he can be a Real Madrid player. And I don't know, it leaves a bad feeling because I don't feel this club is performing at their 100%.
It's still in the beginning. Maybe they're rusty, Fernando.
No, you would hope so, but it's the beginning of the Champions League, not the beginning of their activity for this season. So it's not really the beginning. There are still high possibilities to advance to the next round, of course, and I'm pretty sure they will do it. I hope they will do it. But nevertheless, you're Real Madrid versus Shakhtar Donetsk. You can't be losing points like this. These are valuable points at the end of the day.
That was definitely a must-win for Madrid. Shakhtar, how would you view them? Contenders, or this is just a lucky day?
I think first you need to congratulate Shakhtar. Regardless of anything else, they played their game. They scored 3 goals, and they defended well enough to not be tied or for the score to be turned around. So congrats to Shakhtar, big applause. But I think it's not a situation like you saw with Ajax or maybe with Atalanta last year. I think this was that lucky strike like the one Bruges had last year, and I hope the best for them. I hope they lose against Madrid next time. That's for sure. But I don't think they're going to be a surprise like those other teams I just mentioned.
And keep in mind, guys, there will be like each team. Everyone will play with each other twice, so they'll be going to Shakhtar next. Now, if there was fans, Fernando, would the story be different?
100%.
I totally agree.
100%. You can see all the players after every game. I don't think it's. They're constantly everybody's saying, and I don't feel they're just saying it, to market something or anything. They do feel it. The difference when you have your fans pushing and yelling, and that whole atmosphere just makes a whole lot of difference.
And another team in the group, the elephant in the room, the team that everyone could say they might be the dark horse and might be the spoiler. Inter Milan, they tied against Borussia Mönchengladbach 2-2, which is a good result for Borussia. Romelu Lukaku was the man of the match, had 2 goals. Borussia had a penalty by Raimi and a goal by Jonas Hoffman. This is a result that Borussia, got really well.
Yeah, I believe so. Again, when you see this type of games, you're thinking, the big guy versus the small guy. So you're always looking forward to, in this case, Inter Milan winning the game. However, as I always like to say, and sometimes it seems like somewhat of, not an excuse, but, trying to excuse other teams. Every time it's 11 players versus 11 players, regardless of the name. If your 11 players on side A are mentally 100% and physically prepared to go into a game and win, then it's going to make an impact. And right now you can see every team is trying to give their best, and you can't see a difference or such marked difference between big teams and small teams. Like the one you saw, for example, between Bayern and Atletico. And those are 2 big teams. So
big teams right now in Group B. Shakhtar's first place, Mönchengladbach second place, Inter Milan at third, Real Madrid last. But things could change in an instant in soccer because goals change everything. Let's go to Group C, the Man City group they call it. They convincingly beat Porto 3-1. I thought it would be closer. It was 1-1 at halftime. Man of the match was Gundogan. There was a penalty by Sergio Aguero and a goal by Gundogan, and also by Ferran Torres, which you're very familiar with. He's from Spain, from Valencia, I believe. And, of course, Luis Diaz scored for Porto first, and then, of course, a penalty for Aguero. This was tight, but Man City pulled it off.
Yep. Man City have such a great team. It's when you see Man City lose, it's really hard to understand because they had so much talent in every line. It's hard to see. But today they proved they are Man City. They're not just have one of the best coaches, but they have some of the best players as well. Regarding Porto, the goal that Luis Diaz scored, what a goal. I don't know if you had the chance to watch it. If you don't, you can go look it up. It was an amazing goal that reminded me of that goal that Sergio Aguero scored. And when they won the league, that last minute goal, he dribbled the whole defense across the box and then scored. It was a great goal. And then, what can I say? Sergio Aguero, penalty. He's a great striker. Ilkay Gundogan is one of the best midfielders, and Ferran Torres is one of the best rising talents from Spain. So I'm glad for them, and what a performance.
So they definitely look at, of course, Inter Milan, excuse me. Man City is top of the group. For Group C. The next game for Group C was Olympiacos beating Marseille 1-0. I would say that was a shocker. Of course, Marseille is one of the best teams in League One, and Olympiacos is from the Greek league. A goal by Ahmed Hassan Koka, 90th minute, last minute. It was going to be a tie, but he scored last minute. Is this a bad position for Marseille to be in?
Yeah, 100%. Because at the other side you have Man City, and they're going to be tough games. So every point you let go, it's going to hurt you. Regardless, you still have many games left, but every point counts at the end. And congratulations to Olympiacos. The game's not over till it's over. So this is one of the best proofs that phrase is actually right. And what a goal, 91st minute, well deserved. And Marseille is going to have a hard time.
One of the things about Champions League is that, of course, I usually don't follow every league in Europe. Primarily is like the Premier League and sometimes La Liga a little bit more, and maybe Serie A. But you start noticing who's playing for who, and I noticed that Payet, who used to play for West Ham, is playing for Marseille. He played, but you probably remember him back when he played for West Ham, and he was amazing.
Yeah, no, he was great. Dimitri
So
Payet, even in the World Cup, he was great as well. He had a couple of performances, real amazing. He's a great player actually. And on the other hand, they have Florian Thauvin, was also a great midfielder. So yeah, I mean they have pretty good talent.
something to definitely look at. Of course, you can always follow these games on TDUN. Group D, the last group of today. Ajax, Liverpool. Liverpool won 1-0. They've been having a interesting couple of weeks, losing against Aston Villa and also tying with Everton, which is arguably good. But a own goal from Ajax, Nicolas Fico gave the goal to Liverpool at the 35th minute, and that was enough for Liverpool.
Yeah, I mean Liverpool is Liverpool. They have a great team. I think the one bad thing right now in Liverpool was Virgil's injury, which is going to leave him out for around 6 months at least. So that's tough. The good thing is they have Joe Gomez and Fabinho that can also play as a center back. So they have no issues there. They have plenty of midfielders. And then on the other side, you had Ajax, which everybody was expecting to get back in the game after the performance they did. Not the previous Champions League, but the edition before that one. They had so many great players. They still have, uh, Tadic, David Neres, Daily Blind, which is probably the oldest player in that team. But Nicolas Tagliafico, despite his own goal, for me, he's one of the best left backs there is right now. But we're still not seeing that Ajax we saw, and they better bring their game up if they want to be part of this Champions League again.
Bringing back to your point with Virgil, he's out for 6 months. Possibly, I've been hearing for like the rest of the season. How much of an impact will that be for Liverpool?
It's huge. It's a huge impact of despite your other center backs performing as well, but you're not just losing one of the best center backs in the world, probably the best one right now in most of people's rankings, but you're losing a leader, not just in the defense, but for the whole team. Virgil definitely causes an impact in the whole team. He's one of those, you know, captains, you might say, without the armband, was not wearing one. So
Yeah, that's something to definitely look at. Me as a Liverpool fan, that's huge. Of course, the replacement is going to be Joseph Gomez, in the back, or possibly Fabinho. Definitely got to look at what's going to happen there. But will this slow them down to win? Will this slow them down to win another title for the Premier League, or maybe like the Champions League?
actually, I was going to say maybe it won't be that much of an impact for the Premier League because it's a longer competition and it's more about a season-long performance. But in the Champions League, not having Virgil van Dijk is definitely a loss they're going to suffer a lot.
It's going to be definitely huge. Of course, we'll keep you guys up to date. The next round, the round robin, is next Tuesday, October 27th. You want to predict this? Have a little bit of a prediction fest right now.
Sure.
Let's
Sure.
go with
Okay, let's go.
mine as well. Locomotive versus Bayern Munich. What's going to happen there?
Yeah, Bayern Munich is going to crush them over.
I agree. Shakhtar versus Inter. Can Shakhtar have a second win against Inter?
I'm going to go Inter. Inter's going to take that game.
Hold on. I forgot one match we not cover, and you probably saw that. Is Atalanta defeating Midtjylland 4-0. Now, is Atalanta, going to repeat what they did last year, go on a roll?
They can. I don't think this is the match that's gonna set, the best preview of what's it gonna be. Uh, with all the respect with Midtjylland, but
Where they're from again?
Excuse me.
Where they're from?
I'll tell you right now.
Let's see who does it first. I think they're from either Russia or Ukraine. It might be Russia. Oh, the Midtjylland. Sorry, guys. I mean, sometimes there's a couple of new teams every year, but I believe no, they're from Denmark. Denmark.
Oh, the Danish. Okay.
Anyways, you
Yeah.
probably don't know much
So
about
I
them.
mean, yeah, no, definitely not. But Atalanta, they have proven themselves to have a lot of firepower, to score a lot of goals, and what I can appreciate. I didn't watch the game, but is that, I mean, since you see the players and you compare the leagues, Atalanta is definitely the stronger ones. Atalanta has some great strikers. Papu Gomez is playing great. Duan Zapata is scoring goals, and they're a hard team to play. And again, they have a lot of firepower. So maybe 4-0 in this game is not gonna you know mark something on this journey they're going to have in this Champions League, especially because of the team they're playing against. But it's great for Atlanta. It gives them a lot of confidence going on forward with the competition.
Atalanta, of course, has a few good players that you guys are able to recognize. The Colombian Duvan Zapata is one of the key players for Atalanta. They did well in the Italian league. And, of course, they got Luis Morel, Alejandro Gomez, Robin Gosens, Remo Freuler, Martin de Roon, Hans Hattabor, Barat, Dempsey, Cristian Romero, Rafael Toloy, and Mark and Sportiello in the keeper range. But anyways, let's go finish the predictions for next week, which is like only a few days. Let's go with Atalanta versus Ajax. Who do you got there?
Wow, I think Atalanta. Yeah, Atalanta is
Ajax,
definitely good.
no chance
Yeah,
there.
I don't see Ajax taking that one, and especially, I mean, again, Atalanta, their strikers are so powerful and they're playing so well. The whole team is, really connecting together. So their teamwork's really great, and there are a lot of dangers. So I don't think Ajax is the one to stop Atalanta, not next week at least.
Atletico Salzburg. Will this be the game that Luis Suarez will score 3 goals?
Maybe not three, but he can always make danger. And Salzburg, I would not say they're that weak. They're gonna fight. That's one of the teams that they're gonna fight. But I'm gonna go with maybe a 2-0 for Atletico de Madrid.
2-0 Atletico Madrid. You're giving them grace. You're not gonna say Salzburg. Anyways, Marisa Gladbach versus Real Madrid. Would this be Madrid's comeback game?
Yes, yes, it will.
That's so biased.
Real Madrid
I'm just kidding.
will win this game.
How much?
Oh, it's gonna be at least 4.
Ooh, 4-0.
Yeah.
Interesting. He's saying it. He's competitive. We'll see if the boys from Madrid will score 4 goals.
Hopefully they
Porto,
have to.
FC Porto, a team that Mourinho used to coach, versus Olympiacos. Who do you
I
got
think
there?
Porto's gonna take this one.
How much?
2-0, 2-1, something in that range, but Porto's gonna come.
Maybe with an own goal.
Maybe.
There's been 2 own
I've been
goals
seeing
today,
a lot.
Fernando. 2 own goals
Excuse me?
today.
Yeah. A couple.
Anyways,
Sadly, one from Varane. For me, one of the best center backs ever. But it
Liverpool
happens.
versus Midtjylland from Denmark. Now we know that. Who do you got there?
It's a hard one, but I'm gonna risk myself and go with Liverpool.
Oh,
Right
yeah, it's a risky game, man. That's a tough prediction. And this could be the game of the week. Arguably, Marseille versus Man City.
That can be a great game. You're not wrong. It could be a great game.
It looks good.
But I gotta go Man City on this one
Why?
because they just have, again, one, they don't let you have the ball. So they're always defending with the ball, which is the most effective way. I mean, if you can have the ball, how are you going to score? And they got so much talent in the top three players, the middle players, so they can do a lot of damage when they're attacking.
And, keep in mind, speaking about Man City and also Liverpool, with Virgil being missing, this opens up the door for Man City to win the league in the Premier League, possibly.
Possibly. It's a very tight league. We've seen everything right now. And, wow, what a league.
I
That's all I
know,
can say. What a league.
which we were speaking about this yesterday, that I've noticed a lot of people watching more Premier League this season, and you told me a great answer. What was it?
It was oh, the level of coaches you have in the Premier League, the level of players you have in the Premier League. That not just that we have right now, but well, that we have prior, but that they arrived this year. Plus the level of performances every team has delivered. It's just the best league on the world right now.
I totally agree. I've been
It's great.
watching the Premier League for the past 10 years. And yes, La Liga had its moments, but I think Liga is going through a dip right now. Obviously, that's arguably, you can't tell, you can't tell that to Jaime, but I do really think it's definitely dipped a bit in Premier League. A lot of players are heading towards the Premier League. They're paid a little bit better, apparently. And of course, you got James Rodriguez. But of course, I'm not saying James Rodriguez is making the difference, but he's part of the situation going on. Let's predict some Premier League games. The Premier League match of the weekend: Man United versus Chelsea. Who do you have there?
Oh man, that's a tough one because they have their ups and downs, both of them, and they have great players. But after seeing Chelsea and seeing Timo's performance and that goal he's scoring, I'm gonna go with Chelsea because
Interesting.
I mean, it's a very youthful team, but man, what a team!
It's funny because I believe there were a few games where he didn't score at all, but this past
Hmm.
weekend he scored a lot. Really happy to see his performance doing way better. One team that's really surprising me this season, which I think they could make the top three, maybe win it, is Everton. You think
Yep,
Everton has the tools to get things going for the top three, or maybe win it?
they definitely have the tools for sure. But again, I mean, it's a very long competition. Plus, you got champions in the middle, and you got many other tournaments in the middle. So at one point in the competition, you need to start, letting some players rest, making some changes in your formation, and your lineups, in your starting lineups at least, so you can give rest to some players. So I'm not sure how deep their roster is in that sense. But however, they do have the tools. They have proved it already, and they're not, despite them being considered like middle table team. I think right now they're right where they deserve to be, and they can definitely fight for those top spots in the Premier.
You have been a Real Madrid fan for a while. You've seen James play for Real Madrid, now playing for Everton. Do you think this is a great fit for him so far?
I think it's the best fit for him so far because he's playing. He was not playing at Real Madrid, and that's definitely sad for the player, for sure. It's terrible for his form and for his confidence, for his getting minutes. If you're not on the pitch, that's what you need to be, to be performing better every time. It's to be on the pitch. You know what it is to be on the pitch. So, on that sense, it is the best fit for him. And moreover, he's with a coach that knows how to bring out the best in James, and he's doing just that. And the best thing for James is give James the ball, let him play with the ball, let him distribute the game, mark the paces, and that's what he's doing, and he's doing it great.
Yeah, when he was with Real Madrid, he didn't have much of a starting position. It was kind of very loaded squad roster, especially when Cristiano Ronaldo was there. So it was kind of different type of players, but similar role: captain, leader, creator, making things happen, changing the game. But I'm really happy for him that he finally, which I believe at the age of 29, a little bit later in his career, he's able to find a good fit. And of course, Mina and Ancelotti really like him there. So I really do think Everton could finish in the top three. Winning it might be a little bit too much, but you never know because Leicester City did it 1 year, and
Yeah.
anyone can do it. Not anyone can do it, but sometimes you gotta be lucky. Question of the day: what goes best with pumpkin, Fernando? Pie, cheesecake, uh, pie, cheesecake, cake, or also your coffee. What goes best with pumpkin?
So I'm gonna be
Donuts also
100% honest right now.
also as well.
I've never had pumpkin because
Oh,
I
that's
don't.
fine.
But that being said, out of all the options, I'm gonna say um, a donut.
Donuts.
You can't go wrong with a donut.
You can't. And if you go to Dunkin' Donuts, they have the best pumpkin donuts. It's moist, it's great, and it goes well with a latte. Maybe not a
There you
pumpkin
go.
spice latte, no sugar, because you want to kind of have that balance, right, with sweet and
There you go.
non-sweet. Fernando, what is the best way to reach you, and tell us about your show?
Yeah. So the best way to reach me would be just at go look at Soccer After Hours on Instagram or Twitter. We're also on some other platforms, TikTok, Twitch, playing some games every now and then. And me personally, it would be at FERU245 on Twitter or FERULLOA 5 and Instagram.
And you can reach and when does your show come out?
So the podcasts are they're not podcasts, they're video casts now as well, but we're live every Monday and Thursday at 11 p.m. Eastern Time.
Eastern time, and you can watch it on which platforms?
You can watch it on Facebook, you can watch it on YouTube, and you can watch it on Periscope. It's live, so it's gonna be there. Come over, join us, ask some questions, come around, and it'll be great to have you and discuss a little bit about the best sport in the world.
Great analysis. Fernando is the ringleader. I mean, like the whole thing with soccer, he knows everything. From the league of the Premier League, he watches it, and we chat early in the morning. So if he's up at 7 in the morning watching soccer, that means he's a real soccer fan. You can reach
you
us.
can't miss Real Madrid's game this weekend.
You can't. El Clasico. Oh my gosh, who do you have for that game?
El Clásico.
And give us a score line. And you could say Barcelona. Don't worry about it.
No way. That's not gonna happen. I got Real Madrid, and they're gonna win. I know they're gonna win. This defeat is gonna be hard on them, but they're gonna rise, and they're gonna prove it this weekend, starting with Barcelona. So get ready for that 2-0 from Real Madrid.
2-0 Real Madrid Clasico. Everyone's been saying it is the real deal. They haven't lost a step. This could be Messi's last dance his whole year, so we'll see how it goes. It'll be played in Madrid. It'll be played in Madrid, right? Or it'll be in Camp Nou.
I'll give you that right now because I really don't.
Or it doesn't really matter anymore.
I mean, it does a little bit, but yeah, you're right. I mean, without the fans, it's definitely hard. Because you're not going to have that extra support. But I mean, still playing at Camp Nou, it's very hard, and that's
It'll be in Camp Nou, Barcelona.
Yeah,
the weather's a little bit different there than Madrid, I heard.
Yeah, no, and not just that, but I mean, you're not at your home, so that definitely affects somewhat. I can bet there are going to be fans probably yelling in the streets, maybe safely from their house or maybe out on the streets. You never know these days. But yeah, it's hard when you're a visitor. It's hard. Nevertheless, I still keep my results up, and Real Madrid is going to take this game.
2-0. I say it's going to be a tie, a good 2-2, like Everton and Liverpool. But we'll see what happens. Be fair and square. And you can follow us on Twitter at the Sportscast1 because I could be live tweeting it this Saturday, or on our website, thesportscast.net, thesportscast.net, or on our app, The Sportscast. Search it on the iOS App Store. And also, we are having a daily newsletter. All the top headlines we had the previous day go into your inbox to remind you that Tua Tagovailoa is the starter for the Miami Dolphins, or that Real Madrid lost against Shakhtar. Things like that. We will remind you early. 7 in the morning. It's the start of a good day. Anyways, a lot of soccer. Fernando, you're very knowledgeable. Great show.
Thank you so much, Santiago, for having me. Thanks to the Sportscast, and I hope I'll be back soon with some better news for Real Madrid.
Ciao. A la Madrid.
A la Madrid.